Yeah, well, let's get to him too. Let's talk about that. So round 3, they traded up with Kansas City, or with Philly, I should say. They gave Philly pick number 94 and pick number 134, and they moved from 94 to 86. And they
Hmm.
did it to draft Dominic Puni, a guard from Kansas. And the more I watched him last night, the more impressed I was.
Hmm.
First of all, 6'5", 313 pounds.
Hmm.
Started, this nothing was handed to this guy. Started his career at Central Missouri FCS.
Hmm.
Played left guard, played left tackle, played some right tackle. And only 2 penalties all season this year. I love seeing that. Really nasty. This guy, is a dominant player in the combo blocks, looking to hit people. I love that attitude that he plays with, where he's looking for contact. And
Hmm.
if you read this kid's story, his dad kicked his butt. His dad played football at a small school, and they have super athletic family. The mom, the dad, all the brothers and sisters, they all play major college sports. So this is a really, really athletic family, but the dad was just a really tough football player who got his son playing at an early age, and he plays the game with an attitude. Dominic's the youngest of 4 kids, grew up in St. Charles, Missouri, which is just outside of St. Louis. Went to Francis Howell Central High School, played defensive end, which I always love when you
Hmm.
see a offensive lineman who has a defensive lineman history. Then played offensive line as a senior on the varsity. Also played volleyball, ran track. Then he was a no-star high school recruit. Was headed to play for the Sycamores at Indiana State, but then wound up at Central Missouri because his older brothers played there. And then transfers after he goes the full boat at Central Missouri, gets his degree, transfers to Kansas, was a 2-year starter at Kansas, and got kind of put on the radar. And it's he's 25 games. The guy has very few penalties, so 0 sacks allowed. By the way, 0 sacks allowed in 25 games at Kansas. So he's really been very, very good. I love him because the guy did have left knee surgery, by the way, in 2021 on his left meniscus. But the coaches say he's calm, he's steady, he's graduated with his degree. His cousin is AJ Espinosa, the Buffalo Bills defensive end. But this is a 6-year senior, 33-inch arms. He can anchor against the bull rush. 27 career starts at left tackle, 13 career starts at left guard, 3 career starts at right tackle. He's a little bit older, as we said. He's 24, just like Pearsall. Considered to be a better pass protector than a run blocker, but he's kind of nasty in the run game.
Hmm.
And just a big, powerful offensive guard. And really, if you say what's the what's the real sell, if you're trying to describe Dominic Puni to somebody who hasn't seen him, the advantage of Puni as a prospect is he can play all 5 spots, and he's really physical and nasty. So that I like. What did you watched him? You studied him. You've read about him, I'm sure. What do you think of Puni? What do you think of that pick in the 3rd round?
Again, I love him for what we do, right? Let's just face the facts. We don't value the position at a high level. All right. So him coming in right now, he's obviously a guard center prospect for us, not a tackle. That's the way I see him. I think that he's got the base. He's 6'5", 313, but he doesn't have the length. He's got 33-inch arms. And he doesn't play long. One thing I will say about him is that the strengths that he has is that he's got great feet, above average athleticism. He's a high motor, high effort guy, never tired. I mean, and that's hard for linemen. You know how like sometimes we get that lineman huff going. Um, so he's never really tired. Pops off the ball almost all the time. One thing I will say is that he definitely has kind of he's baked in some bad habits in technique through him playing football, college football for so long. He went to Kansas, and I don't think he necessarily went to a level of football that is really going to make him pay for bending at the waist so much, right? He'll get off the ball fast, but he doesn't necessarily sustain blocks. He's got really strong hands. He means well, but at times he takes bad angles, and his hand placement kind of falls off on defenders. Now, this is happening in college, and this is another reason why I'm looking at him the same way I'm looking at Ricky Pearsall, is that this is a grown man playing college football. All right. There's a difference. All right. When you're coming up, you're a sophomore, you're a junior, you're a senior coming up, that's fine. But when you're playing 6 years of college football, you better be dominating. You better be dominating. So for me, I want to see what his upside can be for us. Right now, he could be our best right guard that we have playing with us right now, just off athleticism and play alone. So I'm excited for him being another piece to our offensive line. You have to ask, is he going to get better? How is he going to look against elite defenders week in and week out? That remains to be seen. But
I mean, can he play the right side? I mean, he's played his experience is left tackle, left guard, right tackle. Can he play right guard? I mean,
if he's played guard is the easiest position to learn on the offensive line. Right. Guard. If you can't play guard, you can't play offensive line, period. So he could play guard. If he's played tackle and center, he could play right guard. It's a less laborious position, especially from a mental standpoint. There's not a lot you do at right guard. So, but one thing about right guard is you got to be strong. You got to be stout at right guard. You cannot get moved off the point of attack. And that's something that he struggles with. He, like you said before, I believe you said it, but he is a much better pass blocker than he is a run blocker. And that's something that they're going to have to work with him here. But also, Coach Forrester is going to be able to link him next to Jake Brindle and Colton McKivitz, and we'll see how he does at the position. But right now, him coming in, I see that as an automatic upgrade. I like the pick. I do. We just got to see what he's going to do in the league now.